Oh yeah. What's up, everybody? Get started here in a minute. Having some fun. Having some fun for sure. Dun-dun-dun. Isyour6covered is live. Not from the great state of Nevada, because I'd rather be buying supplies. So supplies, think about it. You got hotel room, 100 and let's say $50 for a couple nights. You got a airplane ticket, depending on where you live. You got flights, you got delays, you got all that kind of stuff. But you can spend your money, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, on powder. Lots of powder. What's up, Daniel? Lots of bullets. Got lots of projectiles here. Got 600 rounds of 147 ELD match Hornady 6.5. Been working up some cool loads. Hey, Blue Healer, how you doing, buddy? Ordered a bunch of brass for the 6.5 Creedmoor, so that should be coming in hopefully today. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, I'm hoping so. So I went out, decided, you know what? I'm going to spend my money on reloading supplies because at the end of the day, I'd rather have the ammo than waste my money. Now, would I have liked to have gone? No, not so much this year. Maybe next year. Hey, Bill, how you doing? But I'd rather get all my reloading stuff set up. I got 4 pounds of powder. This is 3 pounds here. I got 1 pound at X-Ring's house. I ordered 250 brass from Starline and 600 rounds of projectile. Now the 147 grain is a sweet round. I'm loving it, liking the load. And now I'm prepping this brass, and you can see these bags here. This is 41 grains, and this is 41 grains on my scale. This cheap but pretty accurate Frankfurt Arsenal, just kind of a. But what I want to do is I want to go over to X-Rings and see how consistent 41 grains is from this to his very fancy super calibered scale. So it's got like doors it closes for the ambient temperature and all that stuff, so it doesn't mess it up. So we've been reloading some very, very accurate. The consistency, I think we were getting like 6 was the overall differences between the rounds after we tested them out for feet per second. So that's like almost unheard of. So single digits for there. But so I picked up the Lee Ultimate die set for the 6.5 Creedmoor. Something that's cool about this is it's got four tool heads, depending on if you want to resize the whole cartridge or if you just want to redo the neck stuff. So if you're going to shoot it out of your same rifle, I did a test, so I'll find out later once we load these up. But I did form fired, basically, I guess you call it. I'm not a master reloader at all, but these ones I basically just resize the neck area, and then these ones here, actually I'm saying that backward, these ones are full resize, and these ones over here are just the neck. So here's kind of what we've been building. This is the ELD. Great bullet, love it. Shoots really nice tight groups, and planning on making about 250 more when the other brass comes in. So this is kind of a cool setup. It does come with a little powder dipper depending on the powder that you're using. And for this, it kind of gives some load data as well for the 6.5 Creedmoor. But we are running a 147 ELD, and this one only does the 140 for the Hodgdon H4350. So this load data does not work for that. So the power dipper, that's kind of cool. I got the one small one so we can work with granules as we're using the actual scale that we use over at X-Rings. to make everything pretty precise. You'd be amazed what one granule of powder change difference is. You're basically looking for a shorter one if you got to get close. So we're trying to get right at 41 is our magic magic recipe. As far as overall lengths and all that stuff, I don't want to tell you all that stuff, but these little bags, I want to see how close they are. So it's kind of a good thing. But some of you guys that are, oh, and I also got this too as well. This is kind of cool. I haven't set it up here. I just basically clamped it in, but it's the Lee Auto Prime. Works really good, actually. It's kind of nice. The kind of a cool little setup. Here's I bought some other dies for 223, and then I got the one for 6.5 Creedmoor, which is also a 308. But the primer flipper that goes right in, that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. And I think it costs like 30 bucks or something from a local place here. So kind of cool, works good. I'll probably mount it to this bench. If you guys haven't seen that video where I show ways to save bench time, these are basically all set up so you can get rid of them and move a different reloading section over. So you don't have to bolt directly into the bench and then now your workspace is all screwed up. So it's kind of one of those popular videos that I get a lot of compliments on. But I just figured it's Thursday. It's 1:42 here on the East Coast, and getting ready to do some videos, have some fun. But I figured I'd reach out, see how everybody's doing. Hopefully good. Other than that, yeah, this I'm really liking this Lee die set. Worked out good. Right here's the full resizer, but they're made really well. Now I think it was Hodgdon, not Hodgdon, a Hornady set only comes with two. So this set's really nice because you can actually just do that whole form fit brass kind of thing, where the other ones that you can't do that with. So excited. I think Daniel is somewhere in South Carolina, somewhere over there. He's hanging out in the sun, he said. I texted him, or he texted me yesterday, see what he was doing. He's getting out of the snow, it sounds like, and hiding in the sun. So also bought the Imperial wax. Basically this is a sizing die wax. I don't know if you guys use this or not. This works, it's a case lube, but it comes in a wax, so you just put a little bit on your fingers and basically lube each case before you go ahead and set it into the die. So I kind of like this over the spray. May take a little longer, but it's this stuff works really well. You don't have to worry about your brass sticking in your die set, and now you got a whole pain in the butt to deal with. But that's it. Basically had some of this stuff. Had the Redding, I call it the rock chucker, but I don't remember what model this one is. But I picked up the die set, all the powder, all the bullets, and the brass that isn't here yet. And that is my SHOT Show money per se. So I want to end up with a lot more bang for my buck, haha. But I think it'll be good. So other than that, hopefully everybody's enjoying their day. We got Hitting Steel, California. How you doing, buddy? Enemy lines over there. I think you're in Riverside, right? Riverside? But yeah, just working on doing some reloading. So today was good. Hey, Walter's out there. How you doing, buddy? Having a lot of fun with that new rifle, the Tika. It is yeah, he's in Riverside. Been having a lot of fun with that. Can't wait to get out there again and do some shooting. But finding this stuff, guys, the 6.5 Creedmoor is kind of, it's been taken off, and it's hard to find some of this powder. I heard that in California this stuff was easy to get, so maybe some of you guys can tell me. But a lot of the online stores, they are out of it. This I got at a local place. Actually, the last 3 pounds of it that they had, the price was a little high compared to some, but when you can't find it, I think it was, yeah, it was 39 bucks for a pound. So that was a little more. This was a little more. This was $63, but I know you can go online. And here's a new company I got the projectiles from. Never heard of it before. I'm sure a lot of you guys have. It's got a great It's this company here. I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Hey, John, how you doing? Natchez? I don't know. They've been around since 1979, and I haven't heard of them. But that doesn't mean much. But they got a lot of gear, a lot of powders. But this is where I got the projectiles from. And luckily they had it. So finding this stuff was tough. So these ones I got from a local dealer. And that's the round right there, guys. The 147, the ELD, extra long distance. But these came in a bag, which is fine. When I ordered 500, which I don't care either way. They're going to be put into here pretty soon, so it won't matter. And then they're going to look like this, and then it's going to be fun time. Yeah, they got a lot of everything, Walter. Yeah, I was looking through that catalog, and man, they have everything from stocks to cleaning supplies to, hell, they got sights, mounts, reloading supplies, targets. It's a cool company, so I'm going to spend some more time in here. The prices look pretty decent, at least compared to my local store. It was a lot cheaper, so looking forward to checking that out some more. Came with a clearance magazine as well. I guess it's some of the stuff that they're trying to get moved out for the new stuff coming in. Knives and other gizmo gadgets and bow hunting harnesses for tree stands and crossbows, and let's see, what do we got here? Chokes for your shotgun, grips, mags, all the stuff you need. And then there was this magazine. I don't even know what this one is. February's magazine. So I guess that's the big one, and then they probably send these out monthly. But they got great stuff, pretty decent prices. But more importantly, they actually had the projectiles that I wanted. So I tried Powder Valley, and they were out of the Hodgdon, even in the 8-pound and in the 1-pound. So finding this stuff was tough. So I got some of those. And I bought CCI primers, case of 1,000. So all that money I saved not going to the SHOT Show is going to feed my new rifle, which I'm pretty excited about. Thing is shooting great, and can't wait to get out on the range again for sure. Yeah, Brownells. I use Brownells, but a couple things is I'm looking for a better scale, but I really want to see how this does. I have these right at 41, right on the dot. So we'll see how accurate or inaccurate this little Frankfurt. And I like this scale. I use this a lot for measuring the projectile weights and stuff like that. Great little scale to have. And but as far as accuracy, I want to see how close it is. The thing I need a funnel. And we got all that at X-Ring's house, but that's his. I'm trying to make it so I can load up some rounds without it. But the funnels for running the powder. I have a regular drop charger one on this setup here. It's the Hornady, but this thing isn't very accurate. So not that it's not. It works good for making, but for running like precise ammo stuff like that, it's not perfect. So the drops aren't perfect. Actually, this and on the Dillon as well. They're good, they're fine, but if you want perfect 41 grains in each case, I think going with something a little bit more expensive and a little better. Problem is the one that we need or I need, I think they're really expensive. It's like a jeweler's style or science scale or something. It's like probably over $1,000, I would guess. But other than that, how's everybody doing? Lyman makes a good powdered drop. I'll have to check that out. I need something that's really, really accurate. That and then a scale. So there's I think Lee makes it. Actually, it's in here. But the Trickler It's a machine one, and you just type in 41 grains, and it drops it to 41 grains. But those are still off a little bit because that's what we're using. Once it comes out of there, we put it on the scale. We're basically using the little tiny dippers to either add grains or to take them away. How many of you guys, I got this from Don, Trees a Blowing, back, I don't know, 100 years ago. But he's like, save your primers. Save your primers. I guess it's brass. Problem is that I don't think they're all brass, but I've been collecting these things for a while now. This is all primers. I'd love to see how many bullets I shot in just here. But I've been collecting these thinking like, how fun would it be to make some shotgun shells and load them up with old primers. So I know they wouldn't do very well, but it'd be like kind of like a shits the fan shot, basically. Instead of running shot, you got something to shoot out of it. Be kind of fun. But yeah, they say it's brass, and they'll take it. Like, this thing weighs a lot. Let's see what it weighs. Let's see what it weighs. See how much money I got. £5 pounds, 14 ounces of primers. Anybody got an idea how many rounds that might be? I use powder drop to get close and finish off with the trickler. Yeah, Blue Healer. Very nice. Yeah, the system we're running, I can't remember the machine. It's an all automatic one. You can program like your loads in, I think up to 100 loads or whatever. And basically you hit the 41 grains. It trickles it onto there, and then we run it into the scale. 5 pounds, missed that comment, sorry. 5 pounds. But yeah, it trickles, and then we put it into the scale, and it's gonna be off. This thing does, what, to the 1,000th or the 10,000th scale? Are you going to count them all, Rick? No, I'm not gonna count them. That could be a good giveaway though, huh? Problem is I'm too lazy to count all these. There is a lot of primers in here. This is what I've shot since I moved here. I think a lot of them have fallen on the ground and got swept up, but there's a lot of primers there. It's a lot of fun shooting right there. A lot of reloading actually as well. So if you guys aren't familiar with this stuff, maybe check it out. And of course, these are great. A lot of you guys probably use these. And we'll see. I got a bunch of Vitivori up there. I need to load some 40. I haven't been shooting 40 ever since I got that other Infinity. I've been shooting a lot of 9. So it's been sitting up there. And I'm running out of 9 brass, but needing lurking and working. What's up, crew? Might as well be. What's up? He's playing in the snow right now. Montana. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm really interested to see what these are going to weigh in at. I brought 2 samples, so we'll see how close my scale is. Pretty excited. But other than that, can't wait to get out to the long range and do it. So we got Hidden Steel 6.5, Creedmoor. Pop's here. I missed his comment. He's been doing a lot of load data. He just went to an open gun. So I can't wait to see his load data for the open gun to see what he's got to run as far as powder. So he'll be on a journey to learn what the best powder is for running that gun that he's got. Beautiful gun. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. It's an interesting, good-looking pistol for sure. And it's 9. I think he's going to run, what's he running? He's going to run Major 9, so that's cool. Which brass? The brass I bought is Starline brass. So 250 rounds of that stuff. As far as the other brass, I got a ton of 40, but I'm running out of 9. So I gotta do some tumbling, get some 9 back up in action. But yeah, the 6.5 is, I'm having a lot of fun shooting this long range stuff. It is a whole nother beast of learning, which is really cool. I was gonna do a video on Straylock, if you guys aren't familiar with that app, and give you guys kind of the beginning data on it. It's pretty cool. Hi, Vanessa. And see if you guys are interested, kind of how to add in some of the parts to fill out the tables and that kind of stuff. But it's pretty interesting of the data, especially when you go from different temperatures to different temperatures. It's pretty nuts. So on what you're, well, I'll see if I do a video on it or not. It's pretty cool. Jerry Bear, what's up, buddy? The rest of the icons are full. Yeah, I need to know. Oh, yeah. They got moving targets. They got ones that you can set up. So if you know what your distances are going to be, and I kind of set that up yesterday on that phone that's I'm recording on right now, but I'm taking a break from learning Blender. It's kind of neat. So you can set it up if you say you go out there and you range a bunch of stuff. You can have those targets already pre-done, and you hit the one that has, it shows like 3 targets, but it has moving targets on there as well. It has, which is crazy. Once you get all your data in there and you say, okay, I'm going to try to hit a moving target at just 5 miles an hour, you're going to be like, holy crap, especially if you're out to a long distance. It's funny where the bullseye is compared to where your reticle is. You're like, man, I am way over there. So it's kind of neat just to see a real world application. It would be kind of fun to try a moving target, especially out to like 600 yards or past that, on how much you got to lead that 5 mile an hour target. So pretty crazy stuff, but it is a cool app. The Kestrel's still your best bet when it comes to load data, because it's taking all the environmentals in. The Straylock is basically pulling from a station that could be miles away or it could be very close. So knowing what your relative humidity is and all that kind of stuff, the better the data that's in it, the more accurate that your holds will be, or whatever you need to dial to. So it's fun app. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than having that stuff written down. Hey, Papa, there's Papa's place. So that's kind of cool. It's and it's nice. You got it on your phone. Your phone's basically with you everywhere you go. You can print, you can email the basically the sheet, so you can tell it, I want to know yardages at 25 yards all the way down to 1200 yards, and it'll give you each one of those increments. It'll give you all your data for it. So it's kind of cool. Or you can do it every 100 yards you want. So you just kind of tell it what you want. Some of the other cool things is you can go to where you type it in and it's all right there. It'll tell you your drops and all that kind of stuff. But I like the one sheet that gives you the whole list, which is kind of nice. So then you just go, oh, that one's 650 yards. You look at the sheet, it says 650 yards, and then you know what to basically plug into your scope or hold over. So it's kind of cool. I'm liking it a lot. And I'm really liking this new brass. All we need is the postman to show up with the other 250. I'll have these things all set up and done. And then when I get back over to X-Strings, I'll make sure the powder is right at 41. And I'll start loading these bad doggies. And I'll have me some surplus of ammo. So buying this stuff, guys, the ELD... what we got here? Bill says 899 bucks. What's that for, Bill? What is that for, my friend? I missed your other comment probably. But when you're buying the boxes of 20 at like 31 to 39 bucks, depending on what you're getting it, RCBS. Oh, gotcha. Man, it gets expensive. So loading these rounds, like when you're loading 9mm, you're not really saving any money per se. You could go out and buy ammo for the cost that basically you can just buy it already done and save yourself a big headache. Where it comes into effect is when you're trying to build something for, a specific pistol, where you want it to shoot really flat, some type of competition pistol, or in Pop's case, he's running an open gun, so he needs more pressure so he can get to the major power factor. So that's where that stuff kind of comes in. But most importantly, when you want to save money on reloading is when you get into these, basically the precision rounds and large rifle cartridge kind of stuff. Because man, they bend you over on the price of 20 rounds of ammo. So spending the money on the tools is nice for a couple different aspects. You got the ability to make ammo if something was to happen and they stop selling it. And a lot of that is kind of prepping and having a bunch of powders on hand for whatever. And now that I'm doing rifle, I need to kind of up my game on some of this stuff in rifle primers. But that's kind of one of the aspects. The other is cost savings. Cost savings huge, especially if you start, or if you have a couple buddies and you're really buying it in bulk. You know, you can bring the price down. It sure makes it nice. And then everybody collect the money and send it in. And then when you get home, divide it up, divide and conquer, and save money. So, and you're making ammo that is going to be more accurate if you're doing it right than the stuff you can buy on the shelf. So that is the fun part. Or coming up with some magic recipe load is always fun. Trying to get we still got to do some testing on some other stuff with some ladder tests. What are your thoughts on the SIG cross bolt action? Blah. Let me see if I can get to the comments here. Cancel. I don't know how to get back to the comments. I didn't read it. Cross bolt something. All right, I'll pay attention. Any other questions? And I don't know if I'll be able to answer them. If I don't know the answer, guys, I will tell you I do not know the answer because I don't want to give bad information. So just so you know. But I'm having fun. Figured I'd jump in the thing. I'm smoking a big old brisket outside. And it's been on there for a few hours. So we'll see how that turns out tonight. 277 Fury. I got nothing on that, my friend. No info. No info. But the boys are out at shot, and I'm over here making ammo, so having fun. What was the name of the app you mentioned? It's Straylock Pro. Straylock. It's an app on Apple. They probably have it also on the Android phones. That I can't confirm, but they do on Apple for sure. Straylock, I think it's spelled. Let me write it down to make sure I say it right. I think it's STREHL. Straylock Pro. There you go. It could be that or that. Straylock. I didn't put the other part. Straylock, and it's Pro. The Pro version's better because you can do more stuff. It does cost some money. 270 Fury has 9 feet less drop. Oh, than the Creedmoor. Yeah, this is the round I want to go with. This is one of the reasons why I was talked into this, because X-Ray, he has the ability to shoot pretty much anything and everything. And one of the things that he told me was the 6.5 Creedmoor is not a barrel burner. So some of those rounds are very, they're very quick, right? But they burn out the barrel very fast. So I'm not a guy that wants to go buy a new barrel every couple thousand rounds. I don't think a rifle should be like that. You should be able to get a rifle, should last for years. And I guess it could depending on how much you shoot, but I really want to shoot this 6.5 Creedmoor a ton. And when it comes to accuracy and that kind of stuff, I want it to last as long as it will or can. So the bullet is a little slower, but you're less likely to burn the barrel out, according to my resources that I have. So that was one of the reasons with the Creedmoor, 6.5 Creedmoor. It's an ammo you can go hunting anywhere in the world, and well, not anywhere in the world probably, but you'll be able to find the ammo for it. Not to say that you can't for that, but it's becoming very popular, so it is a good round like the 308 was. This is, in a lot of people's opinion, a lot better round than the 308. 6mm Creedmoor barrel burner, yeah. So that's some of the problems. There's another one too, the SPC. Am I saying it right? The SPC. Those are they're a hot run and gun, but they burn the barrels out really quick. So And we have all the, you know, the guy that helps me out, Ray X-Ring. If you guys aren't familiar with his channel, he's very knowledgeable. So I'm just learning from him. And this is the rifle cartridge that we're using at this time, and I think it'll be around for a long time. I actually waited a long time to see if he ended up going a different route before I bought my rifle, because I don't want to buy a rifle then all of a sudden, you know, he's on to something bigger and better. So TB, what's up, buddy? It's cold here in North Kakalaki. Not too bad though. It's a little bit better than it has been. Sitting here in the garage, staying warm, or trying to. Keeping the dogs inside. It's been a little chilly. So they go out, and then they come back in. They're like, nope, I ain't hanging out there. But yeah, that was the reason for buying the 6.5 Creedmoor. And it's a very accurate round. So I know I worked in it last night. Yeah, it was cold. It was cold last night. Hell, when I landed in South Carolina, I am lucky to hang out with him. I learned a lot from him. I'm a lucky man. I am a lucky man. He has taught me a lot. A lot for sure. So it's always fun and enjoyable to hang out. We have a good time too, especially now that he's doing YouTube videos. We seem to get together more and make videos, so it's fun. But yeah, long range stuff is I'm really enjoying this long range stuff. I got a lot to learn, and I'm trying to put in the time. I'm doing what I can to get better at it, and that's kind of the fun. That's the journey of where I'm headed. So 3-gun still a lot of fun doing that. It is winter time, so all that stuff kind of shuts down for the most part. There is a lot of USPSA stuff around, because I wish I had buddies like y'all. I appreciate that. But it is fun. Rob's doing a lot of shooting still, which is cool. It is kind of slowing down for him. I think that's why you got that open gun. He'll have time to get ready for the next big event. Yes, I fly into South Carolina, Bo. It's closer. I fly into Greenville, Spartanburg. That's closer to me than Charlotte is. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, Jer Bear said. You know what? I got to agree with Jer Bear. You should hit the thumbs up. But I'm having fun. I'm bored. And I figured I'd say hi to all you guys and see how things are going and what's going on, because I'm waiting for the post person. See that? Politically correct postman to show up and bring me my stuff so I can get these ready to go. It's going to be nice to have 250 rounds all done. Actually, it'll be more than that. It'll be 300 rounds. 300 rounds all ready to go. No, Charlotte. I was flying to Charlotte for a while, and it all depends on Southwest. I'm a big Southwest flyer, and I fly back and forth to California to work, and then fly back home to enjoy America. And for a while there, that's what Southwest rotation was. There wasn't anything that year, last year, leaving out of Greenville for where I needed to go on those dates. So I'd have to go into Charlotte, which sucks because that's a 2-hour drive. And usually I don't get home till midnight. So if I'm lucky, if everything goes well, it's an all-day event. So it's a 17-hour ordeal to get home, basically. 5 hours in a plane flying, but then you got layovers, you got show up early, you got shuttle buses that need to be there at a certain time. How's the rattle can paint job holding up? It's holding up great. I got guns that I painted 12 years ago that are still perfect. I don't shoot them much, and I missed that last comment. Dang it. Sorry. Those ones, I have a 308. You might have seen that on one of my videos. That was actually the scope that I painted on this one. Was the one, it was the 4.5 to 25 Razor HD, but Vortex, sorry. But I took that off because it wasn't accurate as I wanted. I was trying to go for very precision rifle. I wanted a gas gun that was like super accurate. I have a 22, you guys might have seen that video as well. 24-inch Lothar Walther barrel. And that thing, man, at 1,000, I can hit targets, 10-inch targets with it, with good ammo that we're making. But But that gas gun, the 308, 4350 powder, and 147 grain bullet. Yes, Les, this powder, this bullet, YouTube's probably cringing right now. So that's the 147 ELD match. And then right at, is painting your gun a hard process? No, it's fun. It's the scariest thing if you've never done one. I've done, I don't know, 5 or so. The first time you spray paint a gun, you're gonna just be like, oh, do I really want to do this? And after it starts, it's game on, right? You can't screw up camouflage, guys. The trick I use is a sea sponge, and I didn't have one this last time, so I had to use one of those like car wash sponge, the big yellow ones. But you need it to be like really, you want the edges to be really rough, and it works perfectly fine. You start from a light coat. My first one looks like crap. I love it. It looks like a beater, but shoots lights out. There you go. See, and it doesn't matter what the hell it looks like. I have a video. It was my first video I did on YouTube. It was either my first or second. And it's how to camouflage a gun. And you can watch that video and it'll show you. Are you a pilot? No, I'm just I sit in the cattle, back with the cattle, basically. Surface prep, yeah, is definitely it. I use alcohol, and I just basically use this stuff. Depending on what I'm doing, if it's really greasy, I'll hit it with brake parts cleaner first, and then I will go back and it basically with alcohol, wipe it all down. Here's an example. Oh, shit's falling everywhere. So here was one for, I don't remember what gun this was for. I think it was for the 308. So you can kind of see, that's what it looks like. So you want the sponge to basically do stuff like that. You don't want big blobs. You want an edge of the sponge that's torn and ripped. And so that was one I did. If you do a scope though, make sure you leave this stuff so you can read it for later. Here's another scope I did that was on a different rifle. And it's basically kind of the same pattern. You can see it's the, but you start with the lightest color. This is just the way I do it. I'm sure somebody's going to argue with me, but I don't really care. You start with your base coat as your lightest color, and you work your way up. So if you're going to hold on. Here's stencils, guys. Here's people use stencils, right? So this one is the Crazy Scotsman. This one's a solvent proof. This is by Primary Arms, multi-terrain. So this is a stencil. I tried this and I had very, very bad results, but I've seen what Primary Arms has put out. They make guns look like you can't even see them when it's up against stuff. It looks that perfect, but that's an art. You gotta have the air sprayer, one of those little tiny ones. You gotta do everything. The way I do it is sponge, and it gives me basically what I'm looking for. The hardest part is making sure you got flat colors. And hey, Lakeview Outdoors, thanks for showing up. And it's just fun. You can't screw it up. If you get to the point where you don't like it, go back to a base color again and start over. And sometimes, so you can kind of see right there, like you want that sponge to just be little dabs, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like more of a digital effect, smaller dots, more of them. I hear the unicorn in Scotland's national mammal. I heard that too, but it's you want smaller dots. The other gun I did, the Creedmoor that you guys recently saw, was more of a more set up, different kind of camo because of the way the sponge was. It was like a larger piece, but you want the edge of a torn like sea sponge. You don't want smooth surfaces. And then you always like I spray it into like a box, or the lid of a paint can works the best. Actually, all right here is all the cans of paint. Yeah, right back there. So these are the ones I use. You got the Rust-Oleum camouflage, depending on what you're looking for, desert, whatever. I tried this for the first time, and there's a plus and a minus to this stuff. So see how it says multicolored textured? This has like a sand in it. And a lot of your kind of your high-end rifle stocks now that are pre-done have like a texture to it. Gives it a little bit of durability as well. The problem with this stuff is it's hard to get the color to come out. Meaning compared to a paint, when you use a sponge with this stuff, you're not getting the color. You got to go back and like do it 2 or 3 times in order to get like that color you want, because it's more clear. The color's in it, but when you're dipping the sponge in it, it's not pulling up all the stuff that you want. So your best bet, when I did that one rifle, if you saw that video, I used I think that can was empty. I used this, but in the lighter color, the texture stuff. And I wish I would have started with a regular, this is not the right thing, but that lid, that color there, just a solid coyote, like a coyote brown. And then start bringing in the colors, your greens, whatever. One thing I might do, I might change on that rifle that I built, which I probably won't because it looks pretty good. But the where I live now in the fall when all the leaves are on the ground, it's very like orangey. Rick's the sniffing paint again. Yep. It's kind of got like this red burnt orange color to it where the leaves are browned up and they landed on the ground. It's kind of it's a color that doesn't match any of this stuff. All these colors. So I might come in at the end and just dab a little bit of orange in it to make it so it'll work in fall as well. So we shall see. We shall see. I got a project that I'm building. I haven't worked on it per se very much, but I'm trying to build a ghillie suit. It's what he does when not in California. I would assume you're going to say Scotsman. This Scotsman. And I got some old BDUs and military mat. I'm basically getting ready to insulate the front. Hey, what's up, Scott? Insight Freedom. Basically all this on the front part here, I'm going to insulate with this padding. And you can kind of see this. This is one of the legs, but it's that cheap military. What's happening here, Insight Freedom? A cheap mat, basically a bed mat stuff. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's the damn a sleeping pad. There we go. So that's a very thin layer, but this will keep the basically the temperatures from the ground coming up and cooling you off. So this will get sewn into the with some canvas over the front portion of it, and then I'm going to cut out the hole in the back. What's up, Nick? Cut out the back to give ventilation, so on a hot day the heat will leave out. Because once you get all that burlap and stuff on there, it's going to be super hot. So there was a video I watched, and I can't remember. This was an old military sniper guy. Just huge amounts of knowledge. And I watched his video on how to build a ghillie suit. And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. So as I was watching through the thing, I wish I could tell you what the channel was. I can't remember. I believe they are calling it Ground Zero. Scotsman, howdy, Nick. So, did any of you guys attend Richmond, Virginia? I gotta say, I gotta be proud of all those people that showed up. There was no any big events that had happened, which is awesome. I'm glad to see that it worked out well. Huge presence for the 2A community. Would have loved to have been there, but I was stuck in the. So I'm making Urban Gilly suit, skinny jeans, and rainbow shirt. There you go. There's Daniel for you. He normally wears that stuff all the time, anyways. But yeah. So the ghillie suit thing, I haven't really been working hard at it. I got all the pockets torn off or taken off. I took all the stitching off. Got to listen to him broadcast. Oh, yeah, that worked out well. They didn't say much, so I did a video showing people that they could go to 50 Radio, and there's other apps out there as well. But what made that nice is you didn't have to be within, like, say you're a ham radio guy, or maybe you just have a regular scanner or something, and that's kind of direct line of sight. This is basically something that makes it so it hits a repeater and goes digitally. So anywhere in the basically the world, you could listen to your local fire dispatch, your local, well, depending on the police, if they're on a banked channel or not. You loading 6.5? Yeah. I've got a bunch of stuff, Nick. I was telling everybody all this stuff I bought for not going to SHOT Show, and now I have I spent, instead of going to SHOT Show and spending all that money, and it would have been fun, having a good time, meeting a bunch of people and that kind of stuff. But now I got the supplies I need to build at least 600 rounds of 6.5. I wish I did go to the rally. Yeah, it was awesome to see that there was no issues. I was really worried for everybody there, for their safety, and it would have been a shit show. It would have been, the way they were saying they got Antifa, they were going to pretend they were patriots and all that kind of stuff, and it would have made things look really bad. That was the safest city in America. Yes, it was. Yeah, they cleaned up their own trash, which is awesome. You go to some of these events, and it's an environmental event. And they're talking about, oh, keep the earth clean and all this stuff. And then they leave and there's thousands of pounds of trash all over the ground. And it was nice to hear that they cleaned up and everything was going well. So kudos. If you went, if you didn't go, but you were supporting it, awesome. That's what I was doing. I was unable to attend. I know my schedule for the next, years and years in advance, just because it calculates all the way through on the calendars. And I was like, well, I'm working. I got to go to work. So unfortunately, got to pay those bills. But yeah. Where's that postman at? I want my Starline brass to show up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So. Sucks. I need more brass. I need it to be here. Let's go. Anybody got connections to call, the local postal service and have them get their happy ass over here so I can start reloading these beauties. Dun, dun, dun. All the news channels were screwed up. The narrative. Yeah. There was hardly anything on there about what had happened or taken place in Richmond. And it's all because they didn't get what they wanted, basically. I watched Southern Prepper, and he showed an app that you can see where it'll do all the flight stuff. It'll tell you all the planes that are nearby. It'll tell you the helicopters that are nearby and all this kind of stuff. And it was between law enforcement, gray beard, green beret. UP Gardner. How you doing, buddy? I was like, man, there's a lot of traffic. There's a couple helicopters that just basically did, I think they were in the news ones. Actually, they were the news ones, and they kept circling. And I don't know if they're getting good video or not, but I think the narrative definitely didn't work out for them because of the abundance of people that showed up, which was awesome. That I think they figured nobody'd show up, or they figured that there would be some type of issue or problem, and that's basically what they were waiting for. They wanted that to pop off and things to go south, and it didn't. So You know, it's awesome. So, yeah, Bill, I don't know. The narrative didn't work. I love it. I love that you can get that many people. You know, they still haven't come up with a real count. I've heard 20,000. I've heard 50,000. But you get that many people, and then outside the gates, you have a bunch of people showing their love for the 2A by carrying rifles and pistols and all that stuff. And it just proves that good people with guns, you know, you're not going to have events. You got one bad guy with a gun, and that's when stuff starts to happen. So it just shows that the 2A community, the people out there, are great law-abiding citizens. So we will be waiting in the same spot. Yeah. So once we know more, I'm sure this was, like people have said, you know, I'm basically mirroring what they said, but this was kind of a test sample to find out if they're going to be able to push the United States citizens around, take their God-given gun rights, and they failed, my friends. They failed. So, all right, anybody got anything else before I wrap it up? I'm at 51 minutes already. Man, I can talk. I can talk a lot. Anybody? Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Where's that postman at? If you guys see the postman, can you send him my way? I need more brass. Past my nap. Anybody by the chance know what is the velocity of a subsonic 220 grain and above 300 blackout? Ooh. No, sir. Not offhand. Out of here. All right, you guys have a good one. I appreciate you showing up. I had a lot of fun. And we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully I'll have some videos coming out pretty soon. And you guys stay safe. Get shooting today. TV, I'm waiting on my stuff. I got 4 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor left. I shot 50 that one day. 52 rounds or something. I think I'm at a total of 75 rounds out of my 6.5. All right, check you later, brother. Other than that, that's it. Stay safe, amigos. See you on the next one.